Over to Mobashra Tazamal, who's a researcher and writer focused on Islamophobia. She joins us now from London. Mobashra, what have we learned in the wake of this terror attack in New Zealand?
I think we've learned that, the views that we're hearing in mainstream media and political discourse are having an effect. And in the case of Christchurch, it's a violent effect. I read the gunman's manifesto, 74 pages, where, I wasn't surprised by what I saw because I hear and read these things every day. He railed against mass immigration, and this is what you hear in media, especially, in Europe when it came to the refugee crisis, the way that newspapers and the media framed it as hordes and influx and an invasion. And this is exactly what the gunman was referring to when he talked about mass immigration. He called it invasion, and he called Muslims invaders. So I think we need to really look at what our political discourse is, what the media is stating, because it's having a real effect.
Well, Bashra, I know you've just touched on the media a little bit there, but I know that there's been a lot of talk about the stereotypes that exist in popular culture. So we're talking movies, television, much more beyond just what we see in the news and how things are covered. Can you elaborate a little bit on maybe some examples of that?
Sure, like anti-Muslim tropes, go back centuries since, colonialism, and Edward Said touches on this in Orientalism of the framing of the Muslim other. You can see this in Hollywood movies where the depiction of Muslims or Arabs or people of color is often in the form of a terrorist or someone who's violent or someone who's vicious. These are kind of the embodiments that have been placed for Muslims. And in popular culture, this is what, Western audiences are introduced to. So their understanding is only seeing Muslims in this framework, and that is reinforced by media reports and the way media sensationalizes certain events.
Mobashra, in the wake of New Zealand's terror attack, we have seen the New Zealand Prime Minister doing a number of things to make the community feel more inclusive and safe. Gun control laws have been changed, but when we're talking about the perception in the media, the perception in popular culture, what needs to be done to turn that tide?
I think there needs to be a deep introspection within media itself of what sort of messaging they're putting out. We need to look at this structurally and foundationally, not only, and what is media, how is media portraying certain issues? What are the words they're using? Is there inclusivity within media itself? How many journalists, how many Muslim journalists do they have in their newsrooms? So we really need to look at this at a foundational core level, because this is the messaging that is being put out in the mainstream.
All right, Mobashra Tazamal, appreciate you being with us.